thought I would do a video where I said testicles so many times. Thank you, Tucker Carlson. Hello, lovely people. My name is Emma. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. Today we are going to take a look at the latest teaser for Tucker Carlson's upcoming docu-series, The End of Men. For any of you who are blissfully unaware, Tucker Carlson is a Fox News personality. He's a political commentator with a lot of bad takes, and usually I would not be interested in anything really that he has to say. I am interested in this documentary, in this docu-series, because it seems to be about levels of testosterone in modern men, which is something that this kind of American conservative political sphere has so many myths and conspiracies about, most of which have been debunked. But mostly I'm interested in this particular teaser. So what we're going to watch is a very short teaser that played on his show, Tucker Carlson Originals. And this teaser has been spread far and wide across the internet. People have been calling it deeply homoerotic, and I think that is very funny. And the reason, of course, behind that sort of running joke is that Tucker Carlson is homophobic, and the idea that he has put forth such a homoerotic trailer is very funny. I saw George Takei share it saying something like, "This is so gay," and I was like, okay, this is definitely something I need to see then, so I'm excited. It's only a teaser, it's less than a minute long, so I'm not expecting it to have any particularly hard-hitting or upsetting emotional content. I think it'll just be silly, so we can analyse it and have a laugh. Yes, I did enjoy the movie Maleficent, thank you for asking. So here we are, this is the teaser that premiered on Tucker Carlson Originals. Tucker Carlson's new docuseries about manly men not being testosterone-y and therefore manly enough anymore, or something. Here we go. We're just gonna pause there on a weird shot for a second. If you're thinking this song sounds mighty familiar, like some familiar piece of classical music, that's because it is. It is Strauss, it is Also sprach Zarathustra, and I know that because it features in The Dawn of Man in the beginning of 2001: A Space Odyssey, which is my all-time favourite film. It is my favourite cinematic experience. Even though I'd already seen it in the cinema, I went and saw it in the BFI on a big screen like a couple of years ago. And when the soundtrack started, I started welling up because I just love this movie so much. The way the soundtrack and the visuals play together is so powerful. Whatever, the point is, I'm very emotionally attached to this particular piece of music and the iconography of 2001 that is attached to it. I'm really annoyed that Tucker Carlson is using it in this stupid documentary promo. Also, The Dawn of Man is famously the monkey scene, right? If you've never seen 2001: A Space Odyssey, first of all, go watch it, but try and watch it in a cinema or on a big projector screen if you can. But basically, the start of the film is The Dawn of Man. It's ancient apes learning to use tools. And the key iconic moment that I think everybody's probably seen is the monkey whacking the floor. So we're doing basically that in this Tucker Carlson promo, but with nude, muscly men. I just want to point this out if it's not been said already, because he's playing that music and he's showing all these like ripped dudes. It feels like he's being like, when ancient man was monkey, men were better. Monkey men better than modern men. That's how I'm reading it. Okay, let's carry on. I don't know what... I'm gonna go back to this. This is my favourite freeze frame, I think. So weird. I don't know what the cycle begins again means. This... What cycle? Did I miss... I feel like I missed something. The cycle of what? The cycle about... Is it a reference to 2001 then? And he's saying like the cycle of being a manly man, learning how to use tools and stuff is beginning again? That would kind of make sense. That would kind of work for the sort of angle he's going for. It's really hard to tell. Now this... Okay. So first of all, I gotta get this aside. The obvious here is that he's doing a bit of a Jesus thing, right? This man is doing a Jesus laid out on the cross thing. If that's not intentional iconography, I'll eat my horns. So, the elephant in the room. Why is there a giant iPod shining a light on this man's junk? So, Tucker Carlson himself referred to this as testicle tanning, even though it's his teaser for his documentary. That's actually not at all what it is, so he's already misleading his people on his own thing. Whatever. This is an example of red light therapy, which is supposed to help your skin and reduce wrinkles and things like that. So it's not really clear why Naked Jesus Man is having red light therapy on the top of this hill. I'll put a link to this Forbes article down below. I really love, they refer to it as him promoting bromiotherapy, which I think is very funny. So red light therapy is something that is like super in its infancy. There's like 7 studies or something. It's very understudied at the moment. There's some anecdotal evidence that it can help with things, like I said, like skin issues and wrinkles. There's definitely nothing to suggest that you should be using it to improve your testosterone levels. That's just quite strange. And incidentally, the minimal studies that there are don't relate in any way to trying this on testicles. I never thought I would do a video where I said testicles so many times. Thank you, Tucker Carlson. Forbes also makes a good point that calling this testicle tanning is somewhat absurd because your testicles are... This is such a weird day I'm having. Your testicles are inside your scrotum and you don't see them. They're not exposed to the red light or the tan. You can't tan your testicles because they're inside your scrotum. It would be very weird and bad if you were tanning your... Let's just move on. Let's just move on.
Once a society collapses, then you're in hard times. Well,
Okay. This dude's face is blurred. Bless this man for not signing away the rights to appear on Tucker Carlson's shitty documentary. He's like, yeah, I'm a strong dude. I can flip tires. I love broing out. Don't put my face on your garbage. Could they not? Like, it's only a few... Maybe it's an important part of the actual documentary and it'll all make sense when the full thing comes out. But for the teaser, could they not just have used a different bit of footage of a muscly man? Or just not a shirtless man? Is it so unthinkable that instead of having this guy's face awkwardly blurred, that makes you ask loads of weird questions, could they not have just used a little different bit of footage? No, Tucker Carlson wanted... nude, sweaty men. He wants to see the muscles rippling in this teaser. It's very important because testosterone.
Times, well, hard iron sharpens iron, as they say, and those hard times inevitably produce men who are tough, men who are resourceful, men who are strong enough to survive.
I'm so confused. Men who drink water. Men who have a bath outside. Those are the tough men that we need to make society work. But my instant thought, partly it's because of the colouring of this shot, and partly just because conservative conspiracy theories, my instant thought was, oh, he's drinking piss. I don't know if that's what's happening. It might just be water. I don't know. Maybe it's a protein shake. It could be anything. My instant thought was piss. The narration I find kind of interesting. It sounds a little bit like, not enough to be him or be an impersonation exactly of him, but it sounds a little bit like Piers Morgan, almost like enough that I feel like it could be intentional that they picked that sort of voice, because that's, there are a couple of, how to describe them, there are a couple of right-leaning British commentary personalities and political figures like, say, Nigel Farage as well, that the American right really like as an example of, their counterparts in Britain. So I can imagine it being, sort of an intentional casting decision to find somebody that sounds a little bit like Piers Morgan. That's just a thought. Back to the piss drinking.
Fine. And then they go on to re-establish order, and so the cycle begins again.
Oh, that's the cycle begins again. I need to listen to his voiceover one more time so I can understand what he's saying.
Once a society collapses, then...
That's it. Once a society collapses is how he starts. I was so distracted. I was so distracted by all the shirtless men. Don't take that out of context. You were too. I don't care who you are. You were distracted by the amount of shirtless men in this. I was so distracted that I didn't process what he said at the beginning. When a society collapses, then it takes the big, tough, manly, strong men to rebuild society anew. That makes sense. So I guess the implication here then from Tucker Carlson is that society is collapsing. Presumably, specifically American society, which is something that I hear from that kind of politically motivated person in America quite a lot. We've heard that a lot lately. It was something we talked about in a Matt Walsh video a little while ago. You know, America is collapsing. And I guess it needs the big manly men and more testosterone to function, to improve. Okay.
And then they go on to re-establish order, and so the cycle begins again.
I'm so confused. So the cycle begins again, and big, strong, tough men like this, definitely not guy about to do a striptease at a gay club, man that's standing in front of this wall of LED lights, represents the big manly men. So is it the end of men? Or are big, strong, manly men rebuilding society? Or is it that it's the end of men, so we desperately need big, strong, manly men? I guess that's his angle. We need the big, strong, manly men to rebuild society. What is this? This looks like the X Factor. It looks like he's about to go on stage in the X Factor, right? It's so bizarre. Why is he... What's happening? Again, I presume it will be revealed in the actual docuseries. It is... I will say this for a teaser. It is making me want to see so that I can understand what's happening here. So props to them for that, I guess. Super bizarre. Just like 100% see and appreciate why people are calling it homoerotic. It really is. It really deeply is. It's just so much footage of what's this represent? The man milking a cow? Oh. See, the more we look, I could probably go shot by shot and we could analyse what they all mean. So the udder shot, the man reaching for the udder. First of all, I thought there was kind of a sexual implication here. And it could go either way. You could argue either way. If we were doing this, like if we were at university and we were having to, extrapolate potential meanings behind this particular piece of text, we could say that it's representative of a man reaching for a breast. It does visually look more like a man reaching for a penis, but my thought, the most likely sort of intention, because it's about testosterone and there are false, deeply incorrect conspiracy theories about how soy milk specifically, but non-dairy milk, reduces levels of testosterone in men. My thinking is that this shot is about how manly men drink real milk. And that helps somehow. That's probably the actual intention behind this. You can read some weird sexual imagery into it too. Just so much going on here that's so strange. Okay, men doing press-ups makes sense. One of them's wearing a shirt even. Sorry about the quality. It's the quality of the original because it was on TV, I guess. Again, I don't know why he's shirtless. But, guns and testosterone are deeply intertwined, according to what a lot of people in the USA think. See, my thought whenever I see all these dudes out in the sun without any shirts on, I'm just like, oh gosh, I really hope they're wearing sunscreen. But then I am, incredibly pale. And they're shooting what looks like lemon oil? Yeah, so cooking meat comes right after it. So I'm thinking it's like get back to hunting and eating animals. That's what the manly men do. They hunt the animals, they farm the cows. Manly men farm the cows. And they drink milk, and they barbecue meat. See, I don't like soya. I actually drink oat milk. I don't know what effect that has on, my hormone levels. But my point being that if you're worried about soy milk, even though that's not true, oat milk is nicer anyway. Anyway, there's some dudes wrestling, for some reason shirtless. I guess you get hot when you're wrestling, and it's just important that we see all the muscles, and then all the thighs. They're wearing little shorts. And then we got weird Jesus doing testicle tanning, which is not what's happening. He presumably has wrinkly balls and is hoping that red light therapy can make them more visually appealing, which is something that stereotypically is something that gay men would probably be associated with. I'm just saying, like, grooming your testicles. Is it grooming if you're doing, like, laser therapy? I guess it is, right? Grooming your testicles is something that would commonly have been associated stereotypically with gay men. And the addition of that in here is just beyond. Like, he must have known. Maybe it was like a viral marketing tactic. Maybe he just knew that everyone would talk about this because it looks so homoerotic, and he was hoping that would get, more attention. I mean, it worked if it's true. There's no way. Because, I mean, he would have, I don't know if he's a director or producer, but he would have had an editor work on this. And there's no way that, I guess, like, a lot of the time you don't question the higher-ups, right? But I don't understand how a whole team of people could have gone through watching this before it going live and not been like, dude, that's so gay. Especially when they're, like, homophobes who have such a stereotypical view of gay men. It's like they're putting all these stereotypes out there and saying this is what men should be. Maybe it's brilliant. Maybe he's about to come out and, like, shock us all and be like, I'm so sorry for being a homophobe. Turns out it was self-hate. There's no way that's going to happen. It's not that. That's fantasy world stuff, but we can dream. So yeah, that's the end of Men. Hope you enjoyed that teaser. I mean, what's not to love about, like, 48 seconds of shirtless dudes chopping wood and getting their testicles tanned? What's the problem? Well, that was a fun romp into the weird world of Tucker Carlson. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a cheeky like. Leave your thoughts down below. Have you tried red light therapy for your balls? If you did like this video and you would like to see more, please do consider subscribing. I would love to get to 75k before my birthday next month. It's just a little cheeky personal goal. Thank you. Do share this video if you enjoyed it. Everything really, really helps. Before we go, as always, I would like to give a huge thank you and a big shout out to my giant chickens over on Patreon. A very confused looking badger, Alltag, Amalgam of Neuroses, Amber, Azku, Baked Bad's Bert Whitehead, Brian B, Cackles the Spoopy Noobie, Chantail, Charlie Edwins, Chris Simpson, Connie Wright, Conler, Chicken Maximus Lyons, goddammit Conler, Curious Quacker, Dave Kircher, David Gloyn-Cox, Denny5252, Dr. Mint, Eamonn Sheridan, L, Falcor the Ginger, Faye the Succubus, Flash Prez Blue Wolf, Fulcrum, Gaming Ridge, Gay of Reckoning, George Bush, Grey V, Henry Curtis, Izzy, Jan Bojarp, Jason Metcalf, Jeremy Buck, Joe Rowe, John Fry, John Smith, Kent Woodward, Kiwi Satan, Christian Varga, Lizzie Gale, Mark Threlfall, Mattus McChicken-Nuggetus, Miles Tegg, Mr. Creosote, Nerd Fiction, Neem Coughlin, Ninja Red, Peter Kirouac, Plux, Psyched Dude, Kike, Razbatom, Rosina Keller, RPG MP3, Sarah Shavy, Sean, Simping on Emma Thorne, Seriously, Supreme Potato 471, Tanklo, Taxman, Thalia Says Trans Rights, The Myth Vision Podcast, Thomas V. Lohmeyer, Timothy Avery, Tracy O'Rourke, Valerie, Wasatch Witch, and Zabot. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. I hope you have a very lovely week, and I will see you really soon.